Hi guys, welcome to the follow-up video on the Simagic haptics. So I've been using them for about a week now and I've been absolutely loving them. And I've been fiddling around with them, trying them on different, I've tried it on ACC, R Factor, LMU, and they work great, they really do. So one thing I've learned is that definitely less is more. When you have multiple things coming through each reactor, um, it means you've got to do a little bit more thinking while you're driving, trying to focus on what it's telling you. So I found that there's three things that I use. Now I'll show you in SimHub how I've set up what I've ended up with basically. So if I'll bring SimHub up here. Okay, so, so when you first plug these in, you just go to Shake It Motors down the bottom here. Not base shakers. That's where you go for the butt kicker. So Shake It Motors. First thing you want to do is click Motor Output. So it'll look like this. You'll have this list here, and then the Simagic haptics will be here. So you just click that to make sure that's on. Now do click the drop down arrow, and what you're doing here is you're telling it what you want to have available. So this is the list. It's quite a big list, and it's impressive what you can do compared to like SimMagic's own software. I think there's like two or three things you can have set to them, but SimHub, I mean, it's impressive what you can do. Um, Feeling the curbs with road rumble and road vibration feels quite cool, but it does take away. It does make it hard to pick out the ABS because that's where the real value is, having one on the brake for your ABS and sensing lockups. So what I've done here is I've ticked ABS active for the brake. The throttle really, it's just about immersion. I mean, you can have it set so that you can feel the TC triggering. I find you triggering the TC quite a lot anyway, so I didn't really find didn't feel like there was anything to gain from that. All I did like to have through it is the gear shift. I like to feel that thump because I got the butt kicker giving me the thump from the gear shift. Having both, it's nice. You're not going to gain anything from it, but it is nice. So if we go a bit further down here, things like missed gears, yeah, if you're using a manual gearbox with a clutch on something, um, yeah, that could maybe that could be cool having it feel as if there's like a crunch sort of going on. But further down here, these are the other four things that I have. It's just the wheel lock for all four wheels. So you just click them on, and then what I've done is here I've left the gain at 100% here for all of these. Now the hertz with the, I mean, I haven't got one on the clutch. I haven't got a clutch mounted. But so with the brake, when you change this frequency up and down, the lower it gets, the slower the thump you get, and like you get a more deep like thump from it. The higher it is, the faster it goes, so it feels more like a vibration than like. So if you turn that to say 50% or more, I find it just feels like kind of like an Xbox pad, just a rapid sort of sharp rumble. Uh, Going lower makes it feel a bit more authentic. So I found that 25 feels around like what my real car feels like when I trigger the ABS in that. So yeah, 25 hertz for that, and the throttle. If you have that high, it's not as easy to notice it when you're feeling the gear change. So I found 25 hertz makes it feel similar to how the butt kicker feels. So yeah, 25 hertz on both of them. I'm not sure what I would do with the clutch if I had one on the clutch. I don't see much value in having it. If I had a clutch on, I would probably have a haptic on it just so that they look the same because it would bother me. But I'm not sure what I would really gain from having the use of a clutch, you know. So once you've done that, then go to Effects Profile. So this is where you're going to activate or deactivate. So the default profile here, I've left that at 100. And then all I'm going to do is just turn them down individually to how I sort of like it. Now, what I've done is, with ACC, I don't want to feel lockup. I just want to feel the ABS. So down here, even though lockup was enabled, wheel lock here I've left off when I'm playing ACC. So I'll put that on if I want it. And what I found, this is what I use for LMU, and I found 50% feels just right. It's nice. You know, you can really tell when you've locked up, but it's not so strong that your feet aren't going to go numb. So that's where I set that. But when I'm in ACC like I am now, I just switch that off, and then I have ABS active. I mean, in theory, you could have both active, but I found that because you do still slightly lock the back wheels, but I found it kind of, with them both running together, it's a bit of a muddy sort of signal. So I prefer just one thing at a time. So I leave ABS on 35%. Gear shift, I've got that on 45%. And like if I test it without my foot on it, you can see my pedal just gives a tiny little vibration. If you whack that right up, you'll see your pedal jump quite a bit, and it makes a loud rattle. So yeah, 45% I found was nice. And that's it. That's it for the settings. So, you know, I did try lots of other combinations. Some of them feel pretty cool, but ultimately I just want to know what my brake pedal's doing, and that's where this really makes a difference, especially in Le Mans Ultimate. I'll just enable the wheel lock one and then go for a drive. And then the other day I did a 2.4-hour race on it, and for the first time I did the whole 2.4 hours without locking the wheels at all. Not I mean, literally, I mean, I might have done very momentarily here and there, but I didn't flat spot the tyres at all in that 2.4 hours. So that does show that it works, because when you're going by ear or looking in the mirror for a lockup, by the time you see the smoke in LMU, you've locked up bad and you're going to have flat spots. So this really did make a difference there, a very big difference. Slightly less on ACC, but in the wet, I found that in the wet it was easier to keep it out of the ABS, and I was able to stop a lot quicker. So for sure, in the wet, the ABS lock is really, you know, quite valuable. And I mean, the first couple of days, I was deliberately stamping on the brakes, constantly triggering the ABS, just because it felt cool that it was there. So I wasn't really testing it properly. I was just like, "Ooh, wow, that's cool." Anyway, so that's it. That's where I ended up. We may as well go for a little drive while we're here. I've got a setup loaded roughly. So hopefully you won't be able to hear the haptics going off, because I've got the filter on the mic, but they do make a fair amount of noise. And if I wasn't wearing headphones, you know, yeah, I can hear it. Not as loud as the butt kicker. The butt kicker makes such a lot of noise that it pretty much drowns them out. But yeah, if you are only running the Simagic haptics and not a butt kicker, you will hear them. And to some extent it depends on what pedals you're using as well. These Ultimates, it's all metal on metal, so it's going to be that little bit louder. But I always race with headphones on anyway, so I do think it's more than worth the noise for me. And I live alone anyway, and my neighbours aren't attached on the other side of the walls, you know, and detached, so there's no one that's going to complain, but there's something to consider. Honestly, that really does feel so good. I mean, there might be some value to just turning off the ABS on this and just driving on the, just feeling the locker. I might give that a try even, just see what it's like. But yeah, this is one of the, especially for the money, I think this is one of the best upgrades that I've tried in quite a while. And once you've had this for a few days, how do I put this? It's kind of like with the butt kicker. Once you've had it for a couple of days, and then you turn it off by accident or something, you instantly feel that something's missing, and might take a moment to realise that, oh, the butt kicker's not on. Anyone with a butt kicker probably knows what I'm talking about. But these seem to, all the sims or games that I've tried so far have worked. You just enable telemetry in SimHub. If you go onto something and it's not detected, it's not working. You just click, a little box will pop up, and you just click on fix automatically, and it should sort itself out, and then you're good to go. You only have to do that one. I had to do that once on R Factor. I had to do it on LMU as well. It really does feel really authentic. I absolutely want these on. I want to put these on any pedals that I try in the future. This is going to be one of those standard things that I'm just not going to be able to have without. It's just so cool. I should have done it sooner. Everybody kept telling me, you need to try these, and I kept saying, I will, I'm working on it. Yeah, definitely should have done it sooner. But yeah, so that's about it. So, like, for trail braking, driving a car with the brake bias all the way back, you can, and if you were to change it to feeling the locker, like the McLaren, that's one that you can lock up quite easy. Yeah, maybe changing it to sensing the wheel lockup rather than the ABS might be useful in that car. Yeah, that's about it. So I just wanted to share. I said I was going to do this video after a couple of days, but I've been having so much fun with it that I thought I need to spend more time with this and just explore all the settings and, you know, see what's what. Yeah, so absolutely big thumbs up from me for these, and yeah, I can't be without them now. So there we go, nice and short and sweet. So thanks very much for coming, and I'll see you in the next one. I've got something else coming this next week. I'll let you know what it is when it turns up. So thanks for coming, guys. I shall see you soon. So take care. See you later.